institutional arrangements in preventing such infiltration?
The latter being 6.
Yes. Thank you, Chair. And the next witness, Maj Gen Van Rooyen, is going to testify in respect of the legislative prescripts and in an endeavor to assist the Commission in answering part of those questions.
May I immediately tender an apology, General. I addressed you as Ms. Apologies.
No, Chair.
Absolutely no need to apologize, Chair.
Thank you. General Mukwanezi told us that regardless of what comes before the General, whether Major General, Lieutenant General, the mode of address is General. Thank you, General.
Thank you. I hope by the end of the hearing, I'll also be referred to as General Motau. Ma'am, if I can then perhaps also, before we start with the questions, Chair, I appear together with my learned friend, Advocate Lee Segal Ngube, and I should also acknowledge one of the team members who was crucial in the preparation of this aspect of the work, who was unable to be with us this morning, Advocate Ufenze Mutlasedi. Thank you. So the engine room did its part, I should do mine. General, in front of you there are 2 files. There's one smaller file, which is file 1, and there's one bigger file, which is file 2. And Chair and co-commissioners, I don't know whether for purposes of the record, do we follow that sequence? Is it Van Rooyen 1 and Van Rooyen 2?
Yes, yes, please.
Thank you, as the Commission pleases. If I can ask you to go to file 1, Van Rooyen 1. Do you confirm that that is your statement? And if you turn to page 46 thereof, is that your signature that appears on that page?
That is correct, sir.
Thank you. Then if I can ask you to turn back to paragraph 1. You state that you are a Major General in the South African Police Service and that you hold a doctorate degree in law. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
How long have you been with SAPS?
Close to 42 years of service.
Purely out of interest, doctorates in law may be a PhD, which I've seen mostly with Rhodes University. Most usually have LLDs. So it may be a PhD or an LLD. What is yours?
Chair, I've got an LLD.
Thank you.
For reasons that we won't go into, the chair's knowledge in this area is something we don't need to dwell into. And also the choice of the institution that is referred to.
Mr. Motau, my interest is in what field, specific field of law is the LLD?
Criminal law, sir.
Thank you, Chair and co-commissioners. General, in paragraph 4...
Sorry, if I may just add, I've got a master's, the LLM in constitutional law or fundamental rights and constitutional practice. Just for the record, while we're sharing secrets.
Thank you, General. In paragraph 4, you deal with the co-functions of the position that you occupy. If I can just ask you to take the Commission through those.
My core functions as the head of governance, legislation and policy, that is in the division legal services, is to oversee the governance, legislation and policy service within the police. It involves the management of legislative and regulatory functions to ensure the legal vetting of new and revised policies in the police and to provide legal support on advocacy functions as well as to manage human, financial, physical and information resources in accordance with the strategies, priorities and regulatory framework of the police.
What exactly do you mean by vetting policies?
Chair, that would be, for example, if there's new national instructions relating to an operational or a support function, the policy owner, for example, visible policing, will be the compiler of the document, the national instruction, and then it is forwarded to us for legal vetting to ensure that it complies with the law, that it's not in conflict with any other prescript in the police, and to also make a recommendation for the National Commissioner on the approval thereof.
General, what is advocacy functions for the SAPS?
Commissioner, that relates specifically to new developments in law, court judgments and the implications thereof on the police, and specifically relating to judgments and where we can improve our regulatory framework.
And just before you go to the next section, General, who do you report to?
I report to the Divisional Commissioner Legal Services, and we are part of the support services, the Deputy National Commissioner. In other words, that would be either General Nkwa or General Tampane, and thereafter the National Commissioner.
Thank you. In paragraph 5, you state that you made the statement for purposes of giving evidence at the commission, and it is at the invitation of the commission. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And then in paragraph 6, you outline the themes that your statement covers or deals with. And it is clear from there, you firstly highlight the constitutional and statutory framework regulating SAPS. You provide a legal overview of the applicable legislation and policies regulating the SAPS. You also provide a detailed analysis of oversight mechanisms that regulate SAPS. You proceed to then deal with the disbandment of the PKTT by the minister, and you provide your view on whether the conduct accords with the statutory framework set out in your statement. And you conclude by making some general observations on legal aspects that have been raised and identify potential deficiencies in respect of the oversight mechanisms. Is that correct?
That is correct, sir.
Yes. Then if I can ask you to deal with the first topic, which is SAPS constitutional and statutory overview. You deal with that commencing from paragraph 7. Yes, if I can ask you to deal with that.
Okay. In this section, I explained that the workings of the police with reference to the relevant portions of a constitution and legislation and regulation of a service. Section 199 of the Constitution regulates the establishment, structuring and conduct of a security services, a single defence force, a single police service and any intelligence established in terms of a constitution.
Have you not left out services after intelligence, or am I wrong?
I believe that's a typing error,
No,
Chair.
sorry.
You are correct, yes.
Thank you.
All of these services are structured and regulated in terms of national legislation. Section 199(6) of the Constitution provides that no member of a security services may obey a manifestly illegal order. In terms of Section 199(7) of the Constitution, members of any security service must always act in accordance with the Constitution and the law, and may not act to either prejudice a political party's interest that is legitimate in terms of a Constitution, or further, in a partisan manner, any interest of a political party. Section 189,
Sorry, Section 198.
198, sets out the governing principles.
Before you move on, let's go back to 8, Section 1996. Who does that relate to? Ordinarily, one would think that it relates to orders from a member of SAPS, a senior member to a junior member. Does it go beyond that or not?
Chair, it's my submission that it relates to any member, irrespective of where the order comes from. But if it is in the execution of his powers as a police official, it will mean that he cannot obey a manifestly illegal order.
Oh, thank you. What I wanted to, or rather what I want to understand, is whether this would go beyond SAPS. For example, an order / instruction from outside of SAPS. I'm not pushing you to say yes. I just want to understand your interpretation of the section. Does it relate? Is it an intra-SAPS provision?
My understanding or my interpretation will be if the person is